Obviously, we've seen Will Smith take on like the apocalypse, and we've seen like these kind of like mega star, like they can do no wrong. I think the appeal for this is you're playing someone closer to me. Than like an uber hero. It's like, so I mean, was that the appeal, that Joel is a bit more of an everyman than kind of the uber action star?
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, I fell in love with Joel as soon as I read the script. Like and more importantly, just felt like he was such a version of me that I haven't gotten to really like do in a movie, you know, and that is so like who I am.
In what ways are you closer to Joel than other characters you've played? What resonated?
Oh, so many things. I mean, you know, I just think like how sensitive he is, you know, his longing to be great in sort of this innocent way, though. Like it is like a very like boyish fantasy that he can live out.
So Joel is kind of in this community, this kind of post-apocalyptic community bunkered down in the beginning. And, you know, everybody kind of has their skills, and Joel essentially has zero skills except perhaps being a decent cook. Is that what's your function in the bunker in this society? What could you bring to the table?
A lot of stuff, you know, like I think that was one of my favorite parts of the script, and just like the world that you're thrust into at the beginning. Like here's this guy in this bunker in the apocalypse where he's like the ninth wheel, but he loves them so much, and like they like love him, but like he's not really involved in anything because he has this thing that paralyzes him, this like freeze, like fear, you know, thing. He's just so incapable, like. Right. But he wants to be so helpful. But yeah, he, you know, so he's even so positive about the things that he contributes. You know, like he does, he cooks the minestrone, and like he cleans. You know, like he like mans down the fort. You know.
Yeah, someone's got to do it. How are your cooking skills? How are your cleaning skills? Do I want you in my bunker with me? I guess I'm asking.
Yeah, no. I think I would make really like I'm not like an adventurous cook. You know, like I don't like experiment with flavors and stuff, and like, you know, I don't have like, or go and buy a bunch of ingredients that I'm just feeling that day and then throwing something together. Like I can't do that, you know?
Yeah. I know one of the times we chatted, we talked about our mutual love of The Matrix. Your co-star in this, Jessica Henwick, went off to do the Matrix sequel after this. Have you picked her brain? Are you insanely jealous? What gives?
She's like one of my favorite people, and she's insanely talented, and she's like crazy physically talented too, so she can kind of just do everything, and she's also just like the coolest person too. So yeah, it just like I couldn't be happier for her, and I couldn't be more geeking out and trying to like get any kind of hint of what's happening anytime I talk to her. But she's just like shuts me down every time. It's so funny. She's giving me some cool set stories and stuff, you know.
Nice. Yeah, well, Keanu's infamously the coolest man on the planet. I want to see you and Keanu collaborate on something.
Exactly. That was like the first thing I asked her. I was just like, how's Keanu? Because he's the sweetest heart ever.
I like how your voice trembles as you ask it. How's Keanu?
Yeah, I know.
Just tell me he's as good as he seems. You talk about the physicality. You know, this is a physical role for you too, and that's nothing new for you. Have your past experiences and things like Maze Runner or Teen Wolf, does that help in a film like this? Did you call upon past experiences that make this a little easier, or what?
The spirit of the movie, and like just like when I read the script and like the character, like, and you know, just the whole world like seemed so different from anything I'd ever done. It was so funny, like, that I had never like even put the similarities together until like then I'm on set or something, and we're doing like a tracking shot as I'm just like sprinting through the forest, like, and things are behind me. I was like, oh.
I know this. Like, I've done this.
Yeah. This is familiar. Yeah, it cracked me up. So many elements of like, you know, with the monsters too, and like, just familiar ways of working, you know, where there's something attacking me again, you know, that I can't see. It's funny how
Our last big sit down, as I recall, was kind of at the end of Teen Wolf. It was American Assassin, and it was kind of a big pivotal kind of moment for you, right? And that was like, you know, you were still relatively recently coming off the accident. There was a lot going on.
Yeah.
A couple years later now, like, do you feel like a different sense of where you're at? Are you more secure in what you want to go after, or are you still just like every actor and being like, I don't know, I'm just riding the wave, we'll see what happens?
Oh yeah, no, that's a really good point. Things shift into perspective a little bit. You know, you start realizing what's important to you. I think in terms of the accident for me, that was like a very big thing for me to go through that I, you know, still deal with, but absolutely like every day, I mean, I'm leaps and bounds in terms of how I feel from a few years ago when we last talked, you know.
It's a unique situation for someone as young as you were to like face mortality, like in your 20s. You don't usually wrestle with that kind of stuff, so that has to have you know, an impact.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, it's made me who I am today, and you know, in weird ways too, I've become like grateful for who I came out of that being, you know. So I was so angry at it for a long time, you know, totally. But yeah, I mean, that's just, look, that's how it goes, you know, that we all have like our shit that we go through that, you know, shapes us. And that was a big one for me.
I did get a chance to catch up with you briefly a few months back for a fun reunion for Teen Wolf. I mean, I know you keep up with a lot of that gang already, but did that event, the Teen Wolf reunion, reignite or spawn any new conversations, or is it all just like that bond is always there, nothing's going to change it either way?
Yeah, no, I mean, look, nothing will ever change that. That reunion was so fun, and the phone calls that we had after it, you know, we just got so like emotional about it. And just realizing how much we love and also miss each other always, but like always have each other, you know what I mean? Because obviously, like, you know, one of the biggest things coming off that show, coming away from like working with a friend in that capacity, is that it's such a unique amount of time that you're spending together. So that's something you go through, really moving on from any kind of experience, you know. It really, obviously, like, you hear this a lot, it becomes like your family down there, but that couldn't be more real and true. And when you do a show like that for 7 years too, starting from where we all started the show at too, I think it also was, you know, such a big piece of what it meant for us. Like, it was so many of our like first like big things like that. It was my first thing and ever, you know, so it means like it's a huge percentage of who I am, you know.
I'm sure you guys have daydreamed about like working together in different capacities, whether it's another Teen Wolf thing or other thing. Who would you want to work with again, and what kind of project?
I mean, any of them, so many of them, you know. Like, me and Tyler talk about that all the time, you know. We talk about how cool that would be, just how amazing it would be, you know. Yeah, I'm sure it'll happen. I don't know. I've always like had confidence in that it was definitely like not the last time we were gonna like work together or anything.
And last thing for you, I appreciate that, you know, you, like many people, have used their social platform to spread some good word about voting in this time, et cetera. You kind of referenced this earlier, but did you have like a wake-up call? Did it just feel like incumbent upon you, like now or never, to speak up and kind of get involved? Yeah,
they're just, to me, there became a reason really for it all. Like, I don't know. It's just, again, look, it's just something that's like bigger than any of us, you know, what's happening right now, what's happened in the last 4 years. I started thinking of it in the way that, like, look, if I can have a percentage, the slightest percentage of like influencing or helping, you know, with what's going on right now, like, that's just like so much my duty just as a person, and just for myself too, to stand up for what I believe in and really just like, I don't know, taking ownership of that. I think when I was a kid, I used to think like, and still to a degree, I'm just inherently like, who gives a shit what I have to say? Like, you know, I'm not gonna like tweet. Like, I don't know what to tweet about, you know. I would tweet stupid stuff, you know, as a kid, something just, I don't know, just be stoned or something, being like, sucks, fucking like, literally. Just seeing the power of it, though, I truly have also been able to see, you know, I mean, if it wasn't for social media, so many of these things would not have come to life. So many of these things, we'd still be asleep on, you know, and we've been asleep on for far too long. And so I do see the good and the power in it now. I mean, I get it now in a way that I never did before, I guess, you know, because it can be so powerful and be used for the good of mankind.